Good morning, Raptor Freak. Alexios here. Monday morning, Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's, everybody. Hopefully, you get to spend some time with a special loved one in some sort of way, or at least let them know that they're special to you. So today, Raptors are back on the road right away. They're down in New Orleans to play the Pelicans, a new look Pelicans that they did make a huge move at the trade deadline. They lost Nickel Alexander going to another team, but they brought in some new guys, including CJ McCollum, Dame Lillard's right-hand man from Portland from all these years, is now on the Pelicans, y'all. And he had a pretty good game this last game. He scored 36 points in the last game, so he's fitting in pretty good so far. But, hopefully maybe he'll have a little bit of a problem tonight, getting any shots going against the Raptor defense, bugging him and getting to him. I think in the times we've seen him this year, whether he's been on Portland, we've done pretty good against holding him down with points. And hopefully we can continue to do that tonight, because now the Pelicans have a three-prong attack. They've got McCollum. They've got Ingram, who's this crazy, slasher kind of shooter kind of guy. He's kind of similar to Pascal in some ways, Brandon Ingram. And then you got Jonas, our old friend in the middle there. The last time we played the Pelicans, we beat them by 4, and this was in January. It was a part of that first win streak of 2022, and we did really well. And one of the things that was happening in that game was Gary Trent Jr. was out at that time. So we ended up starting Kem Birch at center against Jonas. And I thought that was a smart move. That game ended up being very close, 4-point win for the Raptors. And, we need to think about that, especially after this last game with Portland, because we look at how things can have a ramification. You miss 2 free throws when you first step up to the line, Scotty Barnes, and then all of a sudden you lose a 1-point game to Portland, a very close game, and that ramification of losing the win streak and not winning on Saturday and Boston winning yesterday against Atlanta means they jumped ahead of us in the standings. Yeah, I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh my gosh, I hated seeing that happen yesterday so much. I wish that Atlanta could have taken care of business against the Celtics and ended their streak, because now the Celtics are in the 6th spot out of the play-in, and we're back in the play-in at number 7 for right now. It's a half-game lead. So basically, if we win tonight, we jump back and get the 6th spot. So that is something that, to me, it's so tight in the Eastern Conference standings right now. Every single game matters so much. And losing by 1 point to Denver really hurt us. It really, really hurt us. And now the NBA is going to push the hell out of the Celtics, and they're on this slingshot on their way up, even though they wouldn't talk about it when we were ahead of them with the streak. So we got to start a new streak. We got to start making sure we keep these half games over the Celtics instead of them having a half game over us. And this is a real mini battle that for the rest of the season, I want to see us above the Celtics in the standings. I don't want to see them leapfrogging over us. So let's talk a little bit about today. There's some injuries on the other side. We don't have any injuries, thank God, on the Raptors side. There's absolutely nobody listed on the injury report for the Raptors, thank God. No Dragic bullshit on there either. And for the other side, of course, Zion's still out because he's had weight issues this whole year. This is the reason why he's not playing. He didn't come back to the NBA this offseason in shape. He looked really big, and he's not able to play. And in some ways, I feel like Zion's becoming a bust, partly because of this missed time already so early in his career. They got Larry Nance Jr. as part of one of the deals that they did recently, but he's just had season-ending surgery, I believe. So we shouldn't, we don't have to worry about him. And then they have another guy, a young player, Kira Lewis Jr., who's out also, tore his ACL. So they have a few injuries over there, but their starting lineup is looking a lot different now with McCollum on that team. They still got Devante Graham, Brandon Ingram, and Herbert Jones at the power forward with JV up front. So, yeah, CJ McCollum is a big addition to this team. It's going to be a little bit of a different look, but I do like that Gary's healthy for us this time around, and that hopefully, who knows, maybe these two former Trailblazers will get into a little shootout between the two of them, CJ versus JR. That might be a lot of fun today, so we'll see what's up with that. But, yeah, it's just this is a trap game. This game and Minnesota are both trap games. I don't care that New Orleans is out of the playoffs right now with their record. They started really badly this season and had a lot of losses in the beginning of the season, and they're winning more now. They're actually doing very well more recently. So we can't take them lightly by their record. We've got to realize that this is a team that was very bad at the beginning of the year, lost a lot of games early, and has been winning more games since. So we can't come out with a flat effort. We have to realize that every single minute of the 48 minutes of this game is important and crucial. We need to execute. We need to make our free throws. We need to play at a high quality level to ensure the W. And when we do that, that's what happens. And in these win streaks we've had so far in 2022, that's what we've done overwhelmingly. We've made a lot of good things happen and not so many mistakes. And we really do need to, as the season goes on, gets closer to the playoffs, we need to play more and more perfect basketball. And that means like not letting any second chance shots. That means making your free throws. That means not blowing defensive coverages. That means making open shots, things like that. And if the Raptors can do this, we'll continue to find more success than failure, and we'll win more games than we lose. Oh, yeah. Andrew, let's go. We got to beat the Pelicans today, man. We cannot lose another game. It's just way too tight. Those little leprechaun guys from Boston are hanging over us right now. I hate them. Let's put those elves on the shelf and get them out of our way. We got to be moving on up. Now, the thing I do like is that Boston's going to have to play Philadelphia tomorrow. So one of those two teams is going to have to lose tomorrow. And I'm actually really pulling for Philly because I want to end this Boston streak. Yeah, I don't want Boston having no win streak if we're not on a win streak also. So Boston, you need to lose. I need to see you lose a lot soon. I want to see you get beat down by all kinds of opponents. Oh, yeah. So, all right, let's see. Tonight's real mascot matchup for Tom Duke. All right, so these mascot matchups are kind of going to be a continuation from the last one. I'm going to try and make them string into stories. So the Raptor, he's walking down the street, and he's got his ripped purple shorts again, and he's wondering what the hell happened. It's like, I kind of remember a McDonald's. I kind of remember the police. I don't know what's going on. And it's just he's walking down the street, and there's this sad piano music following him again. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And he's like, really searching himself. He's searching his thoughts. He's like, is something wrong with me? Am I a duality of a person? Is there this as me, as the Raptor mascot that does dunks at Raptor games and drops high definition televisions downstairs? This is me? I feel like this is me, but I feel like there's another part of me that just comes out and I don't understand it. So he's near a seaside, and he's sitting on a dock. He's really pondering his life, like that Macho Man Randy Savage picture where he's just sitting there thinking. He's sitting there just really thinking, what the hell is going on? My clothes are ripped. I end up in places that I don't remember where I was. It's like I'm blackout drunk, and I'm doing things when I'm not realizing it. He's just sitting there, and he's really thinking hard, and he's having a hard time. And all of a sudden, this pelican waddles up to him on the dock, and like it's just sitting there looking at him, kind of like looking up at him. And then all of a sudden he's like, hi, pelican. I'm just in a really deep retrospective moment right now. Can you please give me a moment, please? And the pelican's just like looking at him, and then it turns away from him, and it basically shits out its asshole like towards the Raptor. The Raptor gets incensed. He is infuriated. The audacity of this bird, this ugly, weird bird with a gullet, shitting next to him, like right next to him. He's like, he got real angry. He started feeling anger, and his eyes turned like bright, like a snake's, like, and there's like weird music, like going dun 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 dun, and then he like turned into like a big, huge, real velociraptor with lightning bolts shooting out of his fingers. The Electroraptor, whoa! And he basically just ate that pelican right there on the edge of the dock. It became like an afternoon snack. It wasn't popcorn chicken. It was like seafood variety popcorn chicken. Kind of like maybe you may have got it at Captain D's or Long John Silver's like back in the day. But yeah, there was even maybe a hush puppy. But yeah, that's a real Raptors mascot story for the day. Yeah, he got pissed off because the Pelicans sat next to him while he was trying to think, and he ate him. Yeah, there you go, Tom Duke. I hope you liked it. All right, let's see what Andrew's saying. The good news is that we have room to improve and overcome the 8 versus 5 disadvantage like we did in 2019. Yes, Andrew, thank you. I have been really down the last 2 days. I've been so pissed off about this Denver loss. I was pissed off yesterday. Obviously, you saw me on the stream. And then last night when Atlanta lost to Boston, and I saw Boston jump over us in the standings, I got pissed off all over again because I realized Zach Zorbo really did us a raw one on Saturday night. Yeah, ending our streak, and Boston's going to keep going like this? No, we need Boston to lose, and we need to get back above them in the standings. It's pissing me off. But you're right. We have this great ceiling that's way higher. We have no idea what our ceiling is, honestly. A lot of teams can look at their team and say, well, we have a certain ceiling of where we can get to. But because Scotty Barnes is such a special rookie and Pascal and Fred continue to super develop as leaders and clutch players and go-to guys and superstars in this league, we have no idea what the ceiling is for us, even in this season. Like we could honestly overachieve like crazy still and do things amazingly. And I think Andrew's exactly right. That's why I have a lot of optimism. I'm just pissed off because of what happened. I feel like we got the raw end of the deal. The more I think about it, I think that OG should have went to the line at the end of the game because he was pushed out of bounds. That wasn't the right call. It's like he wouldn't have gone out of bounds if the Denver player hadn't pushed him from behind. So it's really making me mad. Darren's here. Good morning, Darren. Good evening, Darren. I should start getting the habit of saying good evening, Darren. Pascal is on fire. Yes, man. Nobody go get a fire hose. Nobody get no milk. Just take that spicy in your mouth and just share, like feel it because that heat is strong. That heat is strong. This is ghost pepper level DEFCON stuff that's going on here. This man is shooting at like 70% from the field, whether it's slicing and dicing, going to the basket, stretching his nice long arms out and just laying it in, or he's just doing these nasty moves, cooking people like a microwave would with a little shake and bake, shake them off, and then hitting that nice shot over people. Pascal Siakam's offensive rhythm, his game right now is so beautiful. As I've said before, the muscle control, the footwork, the fundamentals, the way he's doing it, it smacks of Kobe and MJ kind of stuff. That is what I'm talking about. Yeah, I see that kind of like muscle memory, that kind of dedication to work and the way that he's playing out there. That is what he's doing. He's working at the level of those guys work out and try and elevate their game. Pascal Siakam is that kind of dude, that DeMar DeRozan, that Kobe Bryant kind of dude that is working hard behind the scenes and getting better and better. No matter how good he is, he's going for it more and more. And that's what I love, his moves right now. His footwork is impeccable. His decision-making is getting better and better, and his shot is looking so nice. You see that sweet swish through the net, nothing touching the rim, and you know Pascal is working hard. Yeah, I love Pascal so much. I'm so glad we never moved him. I'm so glad that he's gone through the quagmire bullshit and his injury and the fans dumping on him. And now he's saying, yeah, y'all owe me an apology, y'all. Y'all owe me an apology because the way I'm working for y'all now, and I am doing it for you. That's what he's doing it. He's doing it for you. He's doing it for his dad. He's doing it for all of us. Yes. All right, let's keep going. Andrew's saying Pelicans are a de-evolution of dinosaurs. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, we're all related here in the raptor world, except they don't have raptor claws anymore, and they don't have the raptor beak. They have some sort of big toilet bowl beak now, where you could probably come up to a pelican on a dock and lift his little beak up and take a shit in his mouth, just like it's a toilet bowl. Oh yeah. All right, G's saying he's looking forward to seeing Thaddeus Young. I'd like to see Thaddeus Young play too also. I think he's just in that orientation period where he's just learning everybody. He's learning the players. He's learning what we like to do in our system. He's learning how we operate. And he's going to be ready. We're going to put him out there. But it may not be tonight still. So don't hold your breath, G, because he may not get in there tonight still. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But he may. I'd like to see him make his debut also. I really want to see him get back to that level he was with the Chicago Bulls off their bench 2 years ago or so, because he really did help them a lot in a lot of different ways, especially defensively. And that's something I really want to see. Lumpy Rex, let's go. It's game day, baby. New Orleans, baby. Yeah, go get some gumbo, baby. Yeah. All right, let's see. Darren, here we go. OG and GTJ need to be better. Listen to last game. I don't even blame them. They did shoot poorly, but they were getting hammered. They were hatchet jobbed all during the game. I'm telling you, it is a travesty that these men did not have at least one free throw in the game between the three of them. OG, Pascal, and Gary, none of them had free throws against Denver. That is fucked up. That is so fucked up. And honestly, they tied them up real good. They were maybe like, yeah, we're gonna mess up OG and Gary. We know Pascal. We can't do anything to him. He's on another level. And Fred's gonna get these screens from Cam, and we're not gonna be able to stop him on that. But at least we can try and stop Gary and OG with the way they like to play and move and stuff like that. And I think that was part of it. I think they'll have better success tonight. I really do want to see this McCollum, Gary Trent Jr. matchup. Two guys on different teams now that used to be teammates and know each other very well. It could be a lot of fun to see that, especially with the Portland not even involved in the whole thing. So let's keep going. What you guys are saying here. Apparently Boston is also now doing a tight rotation. Yeah, they only have like 2 guys coming off or 3 guys coming off their bench right now. That is actually true. And they're playing a lot on their starters. A lot of Tatum, a lot of Brown, a lot of Time Lord, a lot of Marcus Smart, that kind of stuff. And now White is kind of that 5th guy with those other guys right now. So let's keep going. Andrew, I want to get ahead of the Celtics too on principle, but all that really matters is that we avoid the play-in and get a good matchup. Andrew's good. He's keeping perspective. See, my personal vendetta against the Boston Celtics is clouding my judgment and reason right now. Honestly, it's just a temporary thing right now. They may be above us just for like less than 24 hours. We win tonight, we flip right back above them. And the guys aren't watching that closely on the standings. They want to see where we are at certain key points and understand where they need to go on runs and possibly get them lifted up there and stuff like that. But they're not nitpicking, like watching it like a magnifying glass like I am. And that's really what it is that like it's where we're going to be then. There's a lot of season to play. There's going to be a lot of jumping around. And if I'm going to get all crazy about each time we jump and flip-flop with the Boston Celtics right now, that may do problems to my heart. So maybe I need to listen to Andrew and keep the long-term perspective and understand that it's not necessarily where you end up and like stuff. It's where you end up with the matchup. It's where you end up with like, how you're playing and stuff like that. So, thanks for the reality check, Andrew, once again. Voices of reason from the people who here commenting with me. You guys get me back and grounded again. Let's see. Lumpy Rex. Nothing gets me down as long as Pascal's playing like this. Yeah. It's so nice to see him play. We know we have a good chance to win when Pascal's playing at that high level. And it takes a lot to defeat us. It takes a lot. Denver took a lot to defeat us just by 1 point. It takes a lot. And hopefully we just have more success with this. It's going to be a little bit of a different game than the first time we played the Pelicans. Seriously, I think that they're better. And we can't take them lightly. We only beat them by 4 points, and it was a close game the whole game. We never really got away from them in that whole game. We just kind of managed them and kept that 2-possession lead. Like I've been talking about, a 4-point lead is great because it's a 2-possession lead, and we did that really well in that first New Orleans game in Toronto. But, this one's going to be tougher. CJ is some firepower. And we got to really keep after him. I want to see OG-itis on him. I want to see us really limiting his shot attempts, because that was one of the things they did really well against Denver did really well against us, is they limited Gary Trent's shot attempts that night. He didn't get to shoot as many times as he wanted to in that game because they were tying him up really good. Let's keep going. G says, that makes no sense. Someone is pushed out of bounds and it's their ball. Yeah, I mean, it's basically that, it's been an unwritten rule in the NBA for a long time that they don't like to call fouls at the very end of the game. Putting somebody on the line to decide the game is something that the NBA hates, because there have been so many different games where people have won games on the free throw line and the other team feels like they got cheated, or they feel like something that's a fucked up way to win, because in a way the referee's deciding to help you win. And that's why they hold the whistle, and they don't do that. Technically, I don't know what the 2-minute report has said. Maybe I should go look at it. The 2-minute report from Saturday may say that OG was fouled and pushed out of bounds and that they missed that call. But it may not. I mean, they can fudge that and make it and reinforce whatever the ref's decision was out there anyway. That's why I think the 2-minute report's kind of bullshit anyway, because it's like they're still making up whether they think it's correct or not. And it's no rhyme or reason necessarily, because he did get pushed out of bounds. He wouldn't have gone out of bounds if the Denver player hadn't pushed him. So let's keep going. Darren's saying, Detroit, that pissed me off. Still mad. Denver loss is mad to me. We played well enough to win. Detroit, fuck me, still angry. He's still mad about that, the Detroit blowout, that embarrassing loss. Yeah, I can understand that. But in some ways, the next day against Milwaukee really made up for it, Darren. Come on. Like, and then going on a crazy run. And really, we've been badasses since then. That Detroit game was our low point. It was our wake-up call, and we got shook out of it, and we've been playing at a super high level since. So I'm not as mad as about that. I'm mad about the Denver game more because it really was a railroad. It was a railroad. They railroaded Denver to winning that game, the referees. And there were little things all through the game with it. Like, I don't want to go repeat what we talked about yesterday, but, we talked about it all. Lumpy Rex, the freak stays strong behind Pascal during his downturn. Yes, I hated the hate. And sometimes that Pascal hate wasn't from our fans. They would be people, there's Celtic fans, there's fans of other teams that come into our fan sites and places and act like they're fans of our team. And then it's like they're moles. And they come in and they say bullshit and they cause things to stir up. Because there's all kinds of weird, like, information wars in sports and stuff like that. Whether it's Dick Jefferson saying what he said the other day, or just like the way the ESPN website is put together and how it writes everything and stuff like that. Like, oh man, it's crazy. A lot of it's propaganda. So let's keep going. Someone argued with me that Pascal prioritizes free throws. Laughing my ass off. He had 0 within 39 shots in 2 games. Yeah, I don't know where they're standing on the arguments. There's no way that Pascal can prioritize something that he doesn't think he'll ever get. He doesn't go in anymore. That's the difference in his evolution, y'all. Like, when we were frustrated with him and everybody wanted to trade him and they hated him, it was because he wasn't finishing through the contact no matter what. And that's the difference. He was expecting the call and get to the free throw line, but the rest were never giving him that. And that's part of the thing with all of our guys, OG included, that they need to finish through the contact and just make the shot and not ever depend on the ref ever blowing the whistle or ever giving them a free throw. So that is absolutely asinine, that person arguing with you, G, because they've learned that they can't depend on the ref whistle because they know it's not going to come. So they basically, if they want to get their points, they got to make sure they make the basket. And hopefully maybe they get an and one. But like we said, how many and ones did Jokic get on Saturday night and how many did Pascal get? 0. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's totally fucked up. And that person who's arguing with you is crazy because honestly, the thing that Pascal is prioritizing is just making the shots. Like, he really just wants to make his shots no matter what. And it's tough when somebody's grabbing your arm, pulling you down, and you have to throw something up. It's hard. Let's see, Andrew, is CJ and Thad playing? CJ's definitely playing. He's already played 2 games for the Pelicans. We'll see if that can play. It's just whether Nick Nurse chooses to use him. He may not choose to use him yet, but this tonight may be the night that he gets in. Raymond Jacob, good morning. Always good to see my good friend Raymond. Laugh out loud. Zion could be so good if he wasn't so fat. I know. This is a thing. Oh, man, listen, I'm glad that we don't end up with these kind of players. That, like, really, Bobby and Masai do their due diligence and find out about these guys ahead of time. And, like, that's why we get the best players. The guys that are, like, top-notch, they're going to continue to want to work, even though they hit certain levels in their careers. They keep wanting to go. Pascal and Fred. And Zion, man, I don't think he's that kind of guy. I think that he's just been heralded and like golden boy handed to. And now he's in the NBA. He's like, oh, good. And then like in the offseason, he's just eating whatever he wants and not doing anything to take care of his game. Well, that's not the kind of pro I want on my team. And, the NBA maybe have fucked it up because they anointed him a golden boy right away. And he maybe didn't deserve it. That's the thing. Guys can bust. If you anoint them too early, they can bust early too. And, I'm not impressed with Zion. He hasn't done jack shit in this league. They made up so big deal out of him and heralded him. Oh, Zion. He's like a new LeBron. I'm like, he ain't fucking shit, man. He's just a fat guy. So it's like, I feel bad for him. But, you're a professional basketball player. You have one thing you got to worry about, Zion. And you're not worrying about it, obviously, because you haven't played yet this year. That's fucked up. And that's purely because of your conditioning and your injuries and stuff like that. You need to fucking start working out if you want to stay in this league, Zion, because you're on your way out already. All right, let's keep going. Darren saying, totally Lumpy. P is our star. Fred VanVleet is our star. Just need more OG, Gary Trent Jr., and Sky to be 100% ready. That's right. Yeah, these guys are going to perform at different levels night in, night out. It seems like we get a good level of consistency from Fred and Pascal to a degree at this point, especially Pascal right now. It seems like we can pencil him in for a certain amount of points and a certain amount of rebounds and just great all-around play. And then Fred, we can pencil him in for a certain amount of certain stuff too. That we need to get Gary and OG to have more consistent output always also. And Scotty too. They can all be more consistent in different ways. And they're finding it more and more. And different. Like I thought OG was really consistent at the beginning of the season. More recently is a little bit more up and down. But in a lot of ways, he's playing at a high level no matter what, just because of his defense. So let's keep going. Lumpy saying, I've been away from your stream. I just moved to Toronto, so I can't wait to go to my first Raptor game. That's awesome, Lumpy Rex. Yeah, let's get that building open. Masai's working on getting the building open. And when you go down there, just promise me you will be loud as hell because we got to have the best kind of crowd in the NBA to make up for these past 1.5 years that we've had to deal with our home situation. So we need to come in there and be 1.5 times, 2 times more than what we normally are as a crowd when we get back in that building. Oh yeah, we got to bring it. We got to bring it like they've been bringing it, like with that energy, that full court press, everything. That's what we have to do. And I hope you'll be there and you'll do it with me, Lumpy. We'll be out there and we'll be so freaking loud. Oh yeah. Tom Duke, much appreciated. The voices of reason. Let's go. Tom already did the mascot matchup. So if you just showed up, you'll have to watch from the beginning again. It's pretty good. And I'm going to make this a series now. So each story kind of runs into the next one. So it's a continuation from that crazy McDonald's episode with the Denver preview the other day. So let's keep going. Denver in general did not get a lot of free throws, and their fans even said we found a team that the refs hate more. See, wow, G went and got intel from the other side of the lines, went and saw what the Denver teams are saying and stuff like that. Yeah, that's fucked up. I don't know what Zach Zorba was thinking that night, what they told him to do from Secaucus, but he was definitely not his normal fair self. There's Raptor fans that love him, that people think, wow, he's one of the best refs in the league. We think he's really on the up and up, but not anymore. No, Saturday night, you showed something in Zach Zorba and made it really seem like you were trying to control the game on the down low in different ways. And I hate that. I hate that we seem to see another, seems like a good ref being a little fishy. And we have to add him to the list with Ed Malloy. You're like, yeah, Zach, you're on that list now, buddy. I'm going to be watching you every single time I see you ref a Raptor game. I want to see how fair you are. And we're going to be grading you on it, too, afterwards. Oh, yeah. Everybody's congratulating Lumpy Rex. That's a big deal. I don't know where you moved from, Lumpy, but welcome to the 6. And, yeah, welcome home, buddy. Let's go. All right. Lumpy Rex, I'm from Winnipeg, and I can say T-Town is cold. That wet cold is a thing. All right, this is interesting. Lumpy's talking about, he's from Winnipeg. Winnipeg's a dry cold. I have family in Winnipeg. I'm very Toronto and Winnipeg also, Lumpy. My favorite uncle lives in Winnipeg. He was a teacher down in the middle of the city. He's retired now. But yeah, you're exactly right. It may get like -20 and be way colder, more snow in Manitoba, but that wet cold can be a little bit more because out there you can just put layers on, you cut the wind, and you can stay warm inside. But here it gets a little bit more to your bones. And you're here right now when it's like ridiculously cold. Honestly, yesterday was freaking cold. Today's still real freaking cold. And we don't get this cold normally. We're more around the 0 mark than being -10. So this is not common winter for Toronto. I'm going to tell you right now. We maybe have like a month of this, the whole winter, that not even, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks of this collectively. So you just happen to come here on a very cold spike of things. So it should be nicer later on this week. So we'll see. But yeah, welcome, man. I love my Winnipeg people. I'm a Jets fan. I'm not a Maple Leafs fan. I'm Winnipeg Jets all the way, baby. All right, let's see. G's saying what I just said. You came at the most cold time. Apparently, this is the last cold span. Fingers crossed. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Okay, let's keep going. Get warmer. Yeah. Tom Duke saying, I have a landscaping biz in Victoria, and now we have to offer snow removal. Times have changed. We never used to get snow. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. We can talk about climate change and different things and how the weather systems have more hurricanes and typhoons, and there's more different things with the earth shifting in different ways like that. Yeah, it is weird how things have changed. Like, I think that it's going to get warmer and Toronto will be like really nice like in years to come, because the winters have been more mild in recent years for sure. The winters in Toronto to me have felt a lot more mild, not as much snow for sure. Like this winter's been more than last year. Last year was really mild and real easy winter. This year is a little bit different, but it's not too bad either. Let's keep going. Yeah, Lumpy saying the whole country got lots of snow this year for sure. I watched that 2 times whenever I'm late. Okay, so yeah, you watched it already. Cool. And Lumpy saying the best Raptor fans are slowly coming to the stream. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, I don't know how much more I want to say. It's just a half-hour preview, real quick. We got to really control Jonas. We can't let him start to dominate right away like Jokic did the other night. I like that when we played them the first time, Nurse did start Kem Birch against him, and maybe we did have some success against New Orleans because we had a starting center right from the jump. But that was really because Gary was out. So I don't expect that, honestly. I see it. He's probably going to start the regular guys, but I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls a quick hook on anybody who gets 2 fouls or Scotty Barnes right away. Put Kem Birch in and just get him to muscle and body Jonas as best as he can. Now, Brandon Ingram is probably the one on that team that scares me the most. We really got to give him some OGIs, keep up with him. His length can be a real issue. He did score really easy on us the first time we played him. So we really could, if we could do a better job containing him this time around, that'd be good. And obviously, CJ McCollum, somebody that we cannot let go off. We can't let him get to 30 points. It'd be really great if we can keep him under 20. So really, really tighten up and watch where he is on the court at all times. Devante Graham is a player that can do stuff sometimes, but lately he's been a little cold. And I don't know if he's adjusting well to CJ being in the lineup yet, because he's had a couple of goose eggs in the recent days. So, it'll be interesting. And like I said, they did lose some of their good bench players. Like Alexander left in one of the trades. So their bench is a little bit different, and I don't know if they're as good. We obviously have to look out for Temple. Temple is their best bench player, in my opinion. He's like just an active dude who's all over the place, and he kind of bugged us the last time we played him. So, all right, let's go Raptors. We got to beat the Pelicans. This is such an important time in the season. These 2 games before the All-Star break, we can get both these wins. It'll really, really help us into the break. And, this is just too tight. I don't like seeing Boston above us, and we want to get above Philadelphia also. I'd like to be the Atlantic Division leading Toronto Raptors. And Dick Jefferson's head would probably just explode because I said that. Yeah, I want the Raptors to win the Atlantic Division this year, and I feel like we can. Because I think James Harden's a time bomb that's ready to blow up once again in Philadelphia. How long is that going to work out? Seriously, how long is that going to work out in Philly? People think Phillies are better now. Well, James Harden is washed, and he is a problem on your team if he's not happy. He's going to take more away from your defense than he probably give on your offense. That's what I'm saying. All right, Tom Duke, the Electro Raptor, positionless basketball, and the Raptor Freak are all going to be huge in the future. Let's go. Woo! All right, Tom Duke, Andrew, Lumpy Rex, G, everybody, thanks for being here this morning. I'll be back tomorrow for the reaction, and hopefully it's a good reaction, and I won't be cussing so much like I did yesterday. The refs better be good to us tonight. I'm sick of this shit, refs. Stop orchestrating games for the NBA head office. I'm sick of this shit. Just stop, all right?